Good evening then. Welcome along to another Thursday Night Live with the lads on SAFC Fan TV. With us tonight, joining us, we have Dino, we got Sean with us, Michael Bowers, the Mad Mistake, and our special guest this evening, top YouTuber, Thane SAFC. Come on, a big cheer for Thane SAFC. Woohoo!
Hey, brilliant, baby lad.
Thanks on the onwards.
We are streaming live to our YouTube channel, and of course, that means you can join us in the live chat. If there's anything you would like to ask us, then just fire away and we'll try our best to answer your questions. Before I do start, unashamedly, I would like to give a shout out to, of course, you know, I'm a grafter now and I'm out delivering parcels all the time. And I've got to give a shout out to Ray in Primate Road, who collared us. He watches all the time. And we delivered a parcel today in Greenwood Road to Andrew Robbins, who said, are you on tonight? Will we give him a mention? So there you go. So the parcel people, fans of the show, tune in. We said we'd give them a shout out. So there you go. I want to start off this week with on Sunday, when we did the Sunday bunch, we didn't quite get it in. Someone asked the question on the live chat, do we actually think Sunderland will finish the season? And what he meant by that was, obviously, we've had the news this week that fans are not going to be allowed back into the grounds. And that could be a killer. You know, a lot of clubs could fold. And if quite a number of clubs fold in our division, then you can't really finish the league. So thoughts on that? We're going to start with you, Dino.
Well, you just hit the nail on the head there. A lot of teams could fold because they don't have the financial stability. So it is a good point that some clubs might have to fold. I mean, because this league isn't made for financially bad teams. It's really hard to make a profit in these leagues with obviously not getting TV money and obviously being in the lower leagues. So I think you could be right. I think some leagues, like teams like Accrington Stanley, teams like Rochdale, a lot of teams could go bust before Sunderland, but Sunderland might even be near enough going there as well. So yeah, you've got a point.
Well, it's that thing, isn't it? I mean, it's if enough teams do actually fold and they can't finish the league, then we could find ourselves in this league again, you know, for another season through no fault of our own. Just very quickly, Nigel Dunn says, woo, Thane on. So he's a fan of you there, Thane. So I'll tell you what, let's throw that then to our special guest tonight. Do you think Sunderland could finish the season, or is there a chance that it could be cut short because clubs folding? What do you think?
I was actually quite worried after the Tuesday game. It was Leyton Orient against Spurs that was called off because there was a couple of Leyton Orient players that could test positive for corona, and also the West Ham Hull game, David Moyes and two players got tested. So I'm actually starting to get a little bit worried now. I really am.
You're getting worried. Did anybody hear a problem with that sound? Then was it a bit?
I got
right. Can you try and maybe knock your volume down on your? I don't know. It was crackling. Your volume down on your mic, possibly. I don't know. I'll leave you to try and see if we can sort that out. Sean, your thoughts?
I think the whole world's in uncertain times at the minute. I think it's just a case of, I mean, you see the amount of money what's in football, and the uncertainty with a lot of teams in our league and the league below, League Two. I mean, is it not time for like the big boys, the big clubs to help the small teams out, and you know what I mean, and stop clubs from going under? I mean, now people say, well, can you say that happening? But why not? I mean, everybody's in this together now. It's a worldwide pandemic, and if there's clubs what's struggling, help each other out. Do you know what I mean? Just until things get sorted. It's just like if teams are going to like gone under and bust, it's just what's going to happen with other leagues. It's just going to be. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's a fair point, and I know the bigger clubs, the Premier League clubs, will go, well, you know, so why should we? But to be honest, it wouldn't take that much money, you know, sort of 500,000 to a smaller club is a hell of a lot of money, and it could be what stops them going under. Quickly, Dino, then we'll go to you, Mad Mistake, because you was trying to get in there. Dino?
Well, I heard, I'm sure it came from Newcastle, this. I'm sure Steve Bruce said, I'm sure I was on the radio, I heard that he's saying that the Premier League teams shouldn't help out the smaller teams because obviously with the Leyton Orient being tested and some of them got coronavirus, they're saying that it should go across the board, that even the lower league should be paying the money to get their players tested, how the Premier League does. So I think that came from Steve Bruce saying that the bigger teams shouldn't be helping the smaller teams to get corona tests and stuff like that. So if that's coming from Newcastle, imagine what the rest of the league's going to say.
All right. Just before we nip to you, Mad Mistake, Taffy Macklem on the live chat says he thought there was a rescue package has been announced today. I've been out grafting because I'm a grafter, unlike you lot. Mad Mistake?
Yeah, I was just looking into that myself when I seen Taffy Macklem mention that. It says that the EFL and Premier League are in talks over a 200 million bailout. So it looks like the Premier League could be helping the EFL clubs out with some sort of rescue package, which would be absolutely fantastic. And hopefully it'll save a lot of clubs from going under. I think the season will be finished. I think with the way the clubs handle the testing and everything and isolate players, I think that the season will be finished. Now, if clubs do unfortunately go by the wayside, but hopefully they won't with this rescue package, it doesn't mean less games to play, won't it really? But I think the season will have to be finished one way or another.
I can't say I understand what you're saying about controlling the virus and that, and I don't see a problem it being the virus that brings it to an end. But I do firmly believe if there's no rescue package put together, I think there will be a lot of clubs will just go under. They've got players' wages to pay and overheads and stuff and what have you. And without any income coming in, I think they'll fold. And if enough people fold, the league can't continue.
It sounds good that the Premier League are getting involved. So there's got to be some sort of rescue package on the horizon, which is a good thing for the smaller clubs.
Definitely.
Right. Michael?
Points that have been raised, I agree with. Well, from a number of people. I mean, firstly, you know, the argument, well, obviously, is it 6 months now? Up to 6 months, fans can't be allowed back in the ground at the moment. Is that how it's done?
It's that for nightclubs, which means I'm delivering parcels for another 6 months. So I don't know. I'm pleased you'll find it funny. Anyway. Sorry, Michael.
When you can. Yeah, look, I mean, it's a shame because if fans aren't allowed in the stadium for up to another 6 months, there are some clubs in this level, at this level or lower down the pecking order, that rely on fan income to actually be their main source of income. And now that that's stripped away and gone, you know, it's not a stretch to imagine teams falling under at this point. As for the point Dino made, whoever it was that said this, why shouldn't, you know, we shouldn't have to, Premier League clubs shouldn't help the small, why shouldn't they? You know, the Premier League gets I know obviously Premier League's got their own issues to sort. I probably do have their own issues to sort out, but like, why should they not help the lower clubs? I mean, you know, without the lower clubs, you can't have the joys of other teams potentially rising up. Look at Bournemouth's story. Look at you know, clubs coming up from like Swansea's story coming up from League One, League Two level to the Premier League. It's just without that hope, what hope have lower clubs got of getting up the pecking order? And if Premier League clubs really do think like that, then I think there's very little hope for the game if they can't be bothered to remotely get themselves up to helping other clubs. But if this rescue package has been true and it's been announced, good, more the merrier. I think it's about time that lower league clubs actually get help and be more of a priority than what they have been before.
Right then, quickly going to the live chat, and we've got to give a shout out to Tarek, who's supporting Sunderland from Belgium. So mass round of applause for Tarek. Thanks for that. Nigel Dunn, our friend Nigel, says the only help from the Premier League is their young players loaned to us for first team experience. Now, that's not going to that's not really going to achieve anything, is it? If players are under contract, they're still going to need paying, aren't they? I want
Does
to
he not mean? Does he not mean that the Premier League clubs still pay their wages?
well,
Which we can afford to do.
yeah, but does it not also mean that if a club's struggling, they'll still have players under contract. So even if they wipe the team out and they filled it with Premier League young players who are being paid by the Premier League, you know, they'll have a battle with the players what are already under contract. Am I reading that wrong or not?
Well, if the Premier League can afford to pay majority of the players' wages, then the lower league clubs shouldn't be an issue for them, for those specific players, and then they can focus on players that are on their books on a permanent basis. That's just the way I look at it anyway.
Well, it's a point what was raised, and it's certainly one what, well, I think it's got a realistic chance of happening. You know, I mean, the season may not end, and oh, heaven forbid. But right, what I want to do as well. By the way, if you are watching, thanks for tuning in. If you're watching and you're not a subscriber, we are trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you're not subscribing and you're watching, please hit the subscribe button for us. Absolutely free to do so. And if you do that, we will love you forever and ever. Amen. Right, I've been out at work today, and I've we have a group chat which goes between us, and I've been busy, but I managed to. I was scrolling down and something caught my eye that Sean had put into the group about Stuart Donald. Do you want to just mention this, and we'll see, we can have a little debate on it, I think. So over to you, Sean.
I hope, obviously, fingers crossed, I hope this is not true. But I was told earlier on, I was at work on my break, I got a phone call off my friend, and he basically said he'd been talking to somebody who works for Sky, constantly name that person, but they had told him that Stuart Donald was going to have another crack at promotion this season with Sunderland. So any potential takeover doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Well, can I just say, when your mate says he works for Sky, what does he do? Put the dishes up?
No, he works for Sky. He works on Sky Sports.
All right, then. So saying that Stuart Donald is looks like he's here to give it another crack for another season to see if he can get us promoted. So
there's been a lot of people on Twitter as well giving us a bit of stick, saying where we're getting these sources from and this, that, and the other. Right, and then people are saying, "Oh, there was never a takeover anyway." All right, so is Nick Barnes just talking about his backside then? Do you know what I mean? Because Nick Barnes has been, I mean, I have been told as well that Nick Barnes is just getting led up the wrong path. Do you know what I mean? He's just getting fed things and he's feeding them back to us. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, last time Nick Barnes was on BBC Radio in Newcastle, he basically said that the consortium, the group was in with the EFL checks, wasn't it? That was 2 weeks ago. Do you know what I mean? So,
well, we keep getting these messages where apparently we would know before the start of the season, we'd know about it, and then it all goes quiet. And then there's the thing with, I mean, we got your mate William Story, who's still keeps coming up saying, you know, hopeful in the next few days and all this. And then now we're getting this Stuart Donald is going to stay on or wants to stay on to see it through and give it another crack, which is what the mad mistake, as you've said all along, haven't you?
I just think he's been saying things to get people off his back. That's it. Yeah, 100%. Why would you sell the club when you're in League One? When you know you're close to being in the Championship, you can get a lot more money in the Championship. It makes no sense at all to sell your shares when you're in League One. It just doesn't make any sense at all for me. So he's always meant to stay here until he gets to the Championship.
Well, David Walker on the chat here makes a point that with no fans in the ground, the club will be losing more money. So would that not be an incentive for Donald to sell quicker?
Yeah, but he's already getting 12,500 season cards paid for. So that money there was probably keeping him afloat for the time being.
Well, I think it was. I mean, he was chipping away at the debt we had and stuff like that. But I still don't think we were self-sufficient. And so and that was with the revenue coming in from the fans. But it's, I mean, the fans are not on side with him as it is already. If he was to pull that stunt, then I think there would be
Repercussions.
yeah.
Hardly like.
So how would you feel, Sean, if he was here for another year?
Oh God.
Here comes John Middleton style rant. Come on.
You know what? I was up when I got that news today, and I was absolutely fuming. Like, I was thinking, I couldn't bet if this was true, where he's actually pulled the wool over everybody's eyes here, and he's like sort of like, well, thought I'll just make everybody think I'm trying to sell the club, and just stretch it out, and I'll have one more shot at it. You know what I mean? It's actually unbearable to think if he's going to be the owner for another year. Like, I mean, he's just constantly lied. He's just lied. Just, I mean, and this would just be another Stuart Donald, wouldn't it? Imagine if it comes out and this is true. You know what I mean?
All right then. All right. Well, let me chuck this in to all of you. We'll go around and see what you think. All right. Let's say that turns out to be true. He stays on. All right, and we win the league. We hit 100 points. We go up as champions. So at the end of the season, Dino, are you then glad he stayed on, took us up, won the league, champions? Is all forgiven?
Well, I've always said that he wasn't going to sell. I mean, like, the amount of times we've heard this buyer's in, that buyer's in, he's turned down Saudis, he's turned down this. He never wanted to sell. Like Sean says, he just wants to, and man mistake, he just wants to take the pressure off him. Then you recognise everyone focused the pressure onto Williams Story when he was linked. So everyone stopped giving Donald abuse to also jumping on the Williams Story bandwagon. Oh, I don't want him for the club and all that stuff. He wasn't going to sell. I knew he wasn't, because it would have happened ages ago. Of course, he's going to stay on for another season, and to be honest, it's probably going to be for the best since the season started, because when all the off-field stuff goes on, then everyone's focusing on that, even the players. Who's going to be the new owners? Then is he going to sack Phil Parkinson? So it might be best for the season since it started just to keep him on, because then you've got all the is he going to sack Phil Parkinson? So for me, I don't want him here. Don't get us wrong. I'd rather him sell, but since the season started, we're going to have to stick with him. So there's no point moaning about it. We just got to get on with it. And like you say, if he fails again this season, and then he's got to live with that again, and then everyone will be on his back again. So,
Chris Day on the chat says, has Stuart Donald got the money to keep Sunderland afloat? So, which is a fair point. Thane, let's go to you then. So Stuart Donald stays on for another year. The lads win the league. We get over 100 points. We're champions. Is all forgiven? Are you then? What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I kind of agree with Dino. I don't think he's got any intention of selling. If a takeover's going to happen, it would have happened by now. So, but if
audio's bad, like.
Yeah, you sounded like a Dalek there, Dan. But I think I'll translate for you. You agree? You agree that's if he was going to be selling, he would have done it by now. So is that what you're saying? Yeah.
He agrees with me. Basically, that's what he's saying.
Dino, I don't think anybody agrees with you, mate. Right. So okay then, Michael, we've won the league, 100 points, champions. He stayed on, but Stuart Donald's still in charge. What are your thoughts?
I'd take that as long as he sells the instant we get the championship. To be honest, I've said on social media all the time, I'm kind of bored of the takeover talk now. It's like it's gone on for absolutely donkeys. Look at the Saudi takeover up the road. That was publicised. That was in the pipeline for ages and ages and ages, and then it got to the point. And granted, it was because the Premier League didn't want Newcastle to get a decent backing behind them, but at the same time, that went on for far too long, and then it ended, and the plug was pulled on that. For this one, it actually wouldn't surprise me at this point. We keep hearing start the season. Oh, right, that's not okay. All right, end of September. Well, we'll find out in the next week or so if that's got anything to it then. Look, I can get the point Dino's making, as much as I don't want Donald to stay either. And to be honest, I'm actually quite surprised that Sean's rant was as calm as it was. I thought he was going to go off on a rage mode there, to be honest.
I haven't said me ever.
Sorry?
I haven't said me piece on it yet. That was a
Oh,
different-
you've got to say it in a minute. Like, I want a full star rant from you, actually. But yeah, it would be justified though, because Donald's like, oh, right, okay. So I won 37.5 million. Oh, but I'm also keeping the parachute money, which means I've only put 60 million in the club. We've said our piece on that already. He has constantly sold us ridiculous lies and everything. And yeah, this would be typical Stuart Donald. What I would say is, if he said these things to get people off his back, well, I'll tell you what, he's going to get people right on his back again if this falls through. And I don't mind Donald wanting to get money for himself, but at the same time, if he's deliberately holding us back for the sake of money, jog on. Basically, don't worry, I'm going to be good with my language. I'm not going to swear too much, but yeah, I'm just bored of it. I'm just bored of the team. Let's just go up, please.
Okie doke. So on the mad mistake, we've won the league, 100 points. We're champions. But Stuart Donald is still in charge. Feelings on that?
Exactly what Michael says. I'll be over the moon as a Sunderland fan, over the moon for the fans, over the moon for the city, over the moon for, all things Sunderland in general. But as soon as we get the championship, it's time for Stuart Donald to sell.
Right. Okay. Well, I've heard that if we've won the league, 100 points, and apparently Sean then gets up on stage in the Wheat Sheaf and starts singing the Stuart Donald song and all that, celebrating that we're up. Am I right there, Sean?
Which song's that? Oh, Stuart
Donald.
Come all the way. No, I mean, the way I look at it, I was thinking about this idea. It's funny, really, because I was raging on you on that. I've actually calmed down a little bit now, but
Why did you rage when you got on here?
I mean, 3 years in this division, man. It's
unacceptable.
Size of our club. It's an embarrassment, and that guy. Irrespective, I know Matt has had this a few times. The players have got to take responsibility. The managers, but
ultimately, Donald.
Ultimately, Stuart Donald. He's the one that's mad the decisions, and the idea we are in this league. It's because of that man making the wrong decisions. You know what I mean? So he'll forever go down in our history as the worst owner, and rightly so. He's pinched money left, right, and centre. Wrote 20 million off. Lied to the fans. He's just a con man. If he's got anything about him, really, he should just sell the club. But I've got a feeling that he's going to stay another season and try and double his money and get in that championship.
All right. Well, a dilemma for you then. All right. Would you rather then Stuart Donald go and we don't get promoted, all right, or Stuart Donald stay and we do get promoted?
Stuart Donald stay and we get promoted, obviously.
Good lad.
You just want best for the football club. I didn't like the blow up, but I mean, if we get promoted, I'll say to Michael Landwell, all he's really, I mean, it's still, if we won the league, it's still not an achievement. Any of us here, if any six of us say that it's an achievement to win this division and get promoted, you need to look yourselves in the mirror, because it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not an achievement at all to get promoted at this league.
Right, Michael's trying to get in there.
That's fine. Two things. First of all, fully agree with Sean, because it's a league that we shouldn't be in the first place. It's winning the league, or at least getting in the top two, is the expectation, rightly so. We deserve to be in this league, obviously, but that doesn't mean, just because you have to show respect to the opponents doesn't mean expectations should be there. So, but the second bit was, Sean, what your answer should have been to Phil's question was, Stuart Donald stays, we'll get promoted, but as soon as we get the championship, bye. There's the answer.
Yeah, but can you actually see if he does that and we go up, then he sees the championship and thinks, oh. Anyway, let's move on from that, because
more investment in League One, just saying.
Because we've exhausted. Go on quickly then, Dino.
I don't think you can say winning this league isn't an achievement. I mean, other teams win this league and say it's an achievement. So what makes us any different? I mean, Leeds have been down here. Portsmouth are still down here, yet alone them are in the Prem with us. Bolton's even worse than us. And these are teams who have been in the Prem the same time as we have. So how can we say winning this league isn't an achievement? I mean, the AFL trophy, I know everyone, like,
Yeah.
if you won it, everyone looks down on it, but it's still a trophy at the end of the day. If you win this league, it is an achievement because this is where we're at. And then when you win the championship, that's an achievement. I mean, when we won the Prem, we were looking at as staying in the Premier League is an achievement. So how come winning a league isn't an achievement then? If coming 17th every year is an achievement.
Right. Okay. Quickly, Michael. Then we'll move on from this.
Are we that then? I think for the crop of players we've got, it would be an achievement. For the club in general, it shouldn't be looked at as an achievement because, again, I still believe that, you know, regardless of the fact we are down here, the expectation is that we shouldn't find ourselves down here. And even if I said in the Premier League, I said staying up every year by the time you're in your 10th year in a row in the Premier League is underachievement. It's not an achievement. I know you're not saying it is an achievement, but I mean, like, if anyone was saying finishing 17th in the Premier League is an achievement, now that's garbage. When there's a lot of so-called smaller clubs doing better than us, like, nah, not by 10 years in the Premier League, should be a lot better than that.
All right. Quickly, Terry.
I just got some bad news. Apparently, Morgan Feeney's out for a long period of time.
Right. Well. Right. Well, I was going to jump on that because on the live chat, very quickly, Andrew Robbins, who we gave a mention to earlier, says he knew Stuart Donald wouldn't sell. He's nothing but a liar. Donald, get out. He says, One Rovers Vlogs, Charlie, our friend who we had on the show, says good evening. So hello to Charlie down there. It was mentioned, Giaccarini, of course, a great YouTuber, said Feeney out for 4 months and is saying, you know, is there anybody we should be targeting to replace him? But what I did want to bring up quickly was Mad Mistake. You're a massive fan of Dan Neil and keep championing his a place in the side. And Wayne Duran says Leeds have inquired about Dan Neil. So what do you think about that? Premiership club.
They've already inquired about him before the season started, along with a few other clubs like Wolves and Newcastle. So he said he wants to commit to Sunderland, but if he's not going to get any sniff of a chance, then eventually he's going to be wanted away if someone like a Premier League team comes in like Leeds, and they're going to put him in their good youth squad and under 21s or whatever it is. And for me, it's a shame. We need to get him more involved. And I don't think the position he was played in against Aston Villa was the position. I don't think it's his best position for me. I thought he was all at sea. I want to see him supplying the forwards with the balls that he give to Will Grigg.
All right, Thane, you trying to get in there?
I think it's that like we told Leeds, Dan Nichols not going anywhere.
Then can you say, bring your phone closer to you or something like that, because we're getting you're breaking up badly. You're struggling to hear you.
We should have done a test before we'd do like.
Just
Look at the word test at the minute.
right, try again. Say.
I was just saying, like, apparently, like, Dan Nichols, like we told Leeds, like, no.
Thane, do you do sign language or anything like that?
Poor Thane.
Have you not got a pair of headphones or anything like that? Maybe headphones will be better.
Well, it sounded all right before we come live on air. I didn't understand why it went pear-shaped since we're maybe he turns his phone back the other way. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Finn, have you got any headphones to plug into your phone or anything like that?
Yeah.
See, I didn't even get that.
Sounds like he's underwater.
If you've got headphones, can you try and if you've got headphones, anything like that, can you try and plug those in, see if that works? Right, nice one. Right, so Michael, go on.
It's a question for you, Phil, actually. I've just got it from your mate, the adopted Mackham, who was on a few weeks ago. He said, if Sunderland win the league with 100 points, the text has gone already, but basically it's saying if Sunderland win the league with 100 points, we feel he's got to do a Gary Lineker and he's got to present one of the shows in his boxers.
Like, hey, listen.
Won the Premier League.
I'll do the show totally naked. If we win the league with 100 points this season, I will do it stark naked. So there you go. So there's a little
hang on, can we make it, guys, can we make it that if Sunderland win the league period, Phil's got to do this?
If Sunderland win the league and we go as champions, then I'll do one of these shows totally naked. There you go.
Right, let's let's highlight this clip and make sure that he delivers on his
Right,
promise.
right. Me and my wife will do it naked.
Phil, I was going to say one stipulation, mate. One stipulation. And that
What?
was that live show don't include me, but now Karen's going to be on it.
Come here. Come here.
Oh, it's Terry, man.
Hang on. I've been rumbled. What? No, they said if we win the league, right, we've got to do the show naked, me and you. We.
We Philly, aye, we
And-
Philly.
And Terry said, I don't want to be on that show. But then when he said Karen was going to be on, he said he wants to be on it. All right. Right. Go on then.
That takes a filthy-minded individual.
Right. So, right.
Filthy-minded.
Thin, give that a try. See what you sound like.
Let's see.
I can't hear you.
We can't hear you at all.
Hello now.
Oh, right.
Hey.
Right.
I
Try
had the mic on mute.
the mic on mute. Try
Yeah.
that again.
Yeah, I was just saying, apparently we told Leeds that Daniel's not going anywhere.
Right. He's told Leeds that he's not going nowhere.
Yeah.
All right. I thought that's what I heard. Right. It's I think it might be slightly better. The Doctor Who fans will get it. You sound like a Dalek, so you'll be all right. Right, where was right? I'll tell you what we'll do then. Saturday's game. We were all buzzing off last Saturday when we got that win, and we've got to win the league and all this. And we've now got Peterborough at home on Saturday. So what are your thoughts? Dino, are we going to get a win or what?
You know what? Peterborough's our bogey team. I don't think we've beat them since we've been in this league.
No, we haven't.
We've either Joe or getting beat. So I think this is going to be the team's first test. I think even though Peterborough aren't the same team as last season, with losing the key players such as Ivan, Tony and Madison, but they have replaced them with a good striker. I'm not sure about the rest of the team, but I think this will show if Sunderland are ready to be in the top six. I really believe that this is the game what will give them the biggest test so far. And if we pass it, I'll have high hopes. But I would take a draw. I would definitely take a draw against Peterborough. But if we get beat, I'm worried.
So even so, 3 games in, you think that's a good enough gauge to see if we're going to be top 6 material? Do you
Well,
reckon?
they reckon Oxford's going to be up there, and we'll beat them. But Peterborough's our bogey team. We haven't beat Peterborough. I mean, the first season they were in there, they weren't the best team, and we couldn't beat them. Last season they were up there. They were unlucky not to even make playoffs with the point system. But I don't think we didn't even beat them that season, and they were even better. So I think this is going to be the first big test for the team. I think it is because Peterborough play football. Peterborough are physical. Peterborough get in your face. So I think this will show how good we are as a squad against this team.
Well, I mean, I've got to say, I mean, everybody like buzzing about beating Oxford and saying Oxford will be up there, thereabouts. And again, I know it's early season, but was last season not a bit of a fluke for Oxford? Because they didn't really give us much of a challenge last week, I didn't think. Michael, Saturday, Peterborough.
Yeah, next. I do agree with Dino in the sense I think, well, I put it this way, I think Oxford, to some extent, was a test. Going into the fixture, we would have perceived that as a test. We beat them. I do think Peterborough are better than Oxford, though. I think Peterborough have got one of the better sides in the league. I think, tell me what you guys say, I think Peterborough's got the best attacking forward line in the league. I think they've got, you've got Johnson, Clark Harris, you've got Mo Isa, you've got, is it Dembele? I probably said that first.
Modix, yeah.
Modix as well. There's another one. They've got some good players going forward. I think for me, I think this team is top 6 material regardless of the result on Saturday. I think this will be a test to see how much can we challenge in games like this against sides around us. I've said before, I would take 4 points from these next 2 games, Peterborough and Charlton. And I'm not assessing the start until we've played those 2 matches. If we don't get a minimum of 4 points, I perceive it as a poor start. But obviously, that's still early days. Even after these 4 games, you've still got 42 games left, assuming the season is going to get finished. For this game, well, we'll go on to predictions later, but I think it's going to be a tough game. What I would say is Oxford were a bogey team because we hadn't beaten them before February's game. Beat them, who else did we not beat? There's a number of teams that we hadn't beaten. Wickham was another one. We hadn't beaten them before the game at the Stadium like last season. Beat them, so it's there to be broken. Although I think Peterborough will be a tough challenge. But if we keep a clean sheet, I would back us to win. But it's if we can keep a clean sheet for me.
Right, fair dues. Taffy Mackham says Bowersy looks knackered. Are you knackered?
I look like that all the time, man. I'm just hideous.
I didn't want to say him, Michael, but yeah.
It's all right. I've said it for you.
Right. Nigel Dunn says on the chat, we're losing £11 million a year, apparently. Darren Ayres loves the Thursday and Sunday shows, and then says, good luck for the season and up the posh. There you go. So Saturday. Finn, what do you think for Saturday?
It's going to be a tough game, obviously. But I suppose every game this league's a tough game, isn't it? So.
Yeah, I mean, Peterborough. We've said about all the teams how the season ended the last season ended. They were the ones who probably were most aggrieved. Really, they were the unlucky ones. So they were up there and thereabouts. So, but at the end of the day, we've always said, if you want to get promoted, if you want to win the league, and see me and Karen do this show naked, then you've got to beat everybody, haven't you? Sean, what do you think for Saturday?
Do you know what? Well, I think in the prediction thing, I think I tipped Oxford to finish in the top 2, and that's all he did. Like maybe that's going to be wrong, but I still think it'll be around about the playoff areas. Oxford. I think Peterborough, right? I think Peterborough last season, on the day they can beat anybody. I mean, and then the front 3 was even Tony, Madison, and Eista. I mean, them 3 would rip any team apart. And I see it on the day that can beat anybody, but the 2 not consistent enough. Peterborough, that's their problem. If they were consistent, they'd be in the top 2. They probably would have finished in the top 2. So another beat Fleetwood the weekend 2-1, didn't they? But that front 3 does worry me a bit. So I think it probably will be our toughest game, but I'm pretty confident, to be fair. Which is, I think I'm just basing off the win last week off Oxford, because I thought we'll play really well. But if you can keep them 3 quiet, then I think we'll win the game. But you see, it's going to be tough, and it will show us how far we've come as well, because on the day these are a good side. So we've got Peterborough and then we've got Charlton away. That's going to be the tough one, like Charlton away the week after.
Short memories. We get beat one week and it's all doom and gloom, and then we win. Quickly want to, before I go to the mad mistake here, this one's worth a mention. Taffy Mackham, a friend, he says, up the posh, and he says, not his favourite Spice Girl. There you go. Mad mistake, Saturday.
Well, before we start with that, I want to say, Michael, you might be many things, but you're not hideous, my son, okay?
Oh, thanks very much. What a laugh.
Right. If Phil Parkinson can sort out Lee Burge's indecisive tendencies, I think we could keep a clean sheet, because Willis is going to get stronger with every match. And I saw a better display from Willis. Wright, again, is going to get confident and get stronger with every game. And the Wright of last season, if he's anywhere near that, we'll have a good game. And then Flanagan, he's had a couple of decent matches the last 2 matches. I don't think he's been that flappy. He's been more of a, sort of decent Flanagan, should we say. Not flappy, not fantastic, flippantly decent. But I do think we can get a clean sheet for whatever reason. I think Simonic Moiser and Clark Harris, they are decent, but Harris hasn't scored yet. He might go on to score against Sunderland. I'm thinking, mate, Peterborough's defense isn't that good, to be honest. I don't think they're that good in defence. So I've adjusted my final table of the season. I've gone for instead of 46 victories, I've gone for 45 victories, 1 draw,
all right,
losses, and 136 points. we're going to score a lot of goals and let in very few, as long as Burge has sorted out his
Well,
I'll have a
tendencies.
very big drinking like.
well,
There you go.
136 points. 136 points gets me doing the show naked for you. Before we go to you, Sean, have we been to you on this one?
Dean, has Dean not been on yet?
No, I went first.
Did you?
Philly, I've done mine after Michael.
Did you? Or,
It's
is
just
that
you,
right?
Philly.
For you,
It's just
Phil,
you.
what's your-
Just
your
you,
talking-
man.
It's me. All right, okay. Before I do that, I want to quickly go to the chat. Anthony Lee, or Tony Lee as I know him, pal of mine, used to knock about with him about 35 years ago. What happened to the hair extensions? That's for another show, possibly. Me, Peterborough on Saturday. You know me. We win every game, every game of the season, and to be honest, I think it will be a test, but I think there was from what I saw of when they played Fleetwood on Saturday. I mean, there were 2 injury time goals, so they could have quite easily come away with nothing out of that. Not keen on the manager, and I think we'll batter them. To be honest, I think we're on our way. So, having said that, predictions.
Ooh.
Let's do that, shall we? Who are we kicking off with? Thane, what's your prediction? Your score prediction for Saturday?
2-0 Sunderland.
2-0 Sunderland. Right, okay. Dino?
I think it'll be a hard game, so I'm going to say 1-1. I think it'll be a draw.
Oh! We're at home. We're at
With
home.
no fans, we're at home with no fans.
We're flying.
It's just neutral, this.
Oh, who's ringing us? Hello? 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 Who's that?
Not me.
It's not me.
Oh, yeah, and I'm on my phone.
Hello? Hello?
Oh.
They do with me.
Yeah, it's going to be a 1-1 draw. It's going to be a hard game, but it will be 1-1.
A 1-1 draw. Sean, what do you think?
I think it'll be a tough game, but I'm confident going off the Oxford game. So I'm going to see it. Can I keep that front three quiet? I'm going to go 3-1 to Sunderland.
3-1 to Sunderland.
Can you see us?
Yeah.
Can we see you?
All right.
Unfortunately, yes, unfortunately.
All right.
Yeah, we can see you. We see you all right.
Could you see us as well?
Michael, prediction for Saturday.
Put it this way, hopefully, Sean, I'm going to guess Phil's going to go for a win and Terry will go for a win. And I hope you are all right and me and Dino are wrong because I'm going 1-1 as well.
For goodness sake, man. Honestly, we battered Oxford. We were unlucky against Bristol Rovers.
One game at a time. Let's see how, this is going to, defensively, we're going to have to be at it. That's all I'm going to say.
100%. 100%, Michael.
Like, on our game, spot on.
Yeah, them three will cause us problem, but, you know.
It'll be the best forward line we've faced so far.
Yeah.
Right, I think we're going to get something special from the Mad Mistake here. He's doodling away. All right, he's got his crayons out. Away you go then.
Let's see it.
What's the score? Who's going to score the goals? Yes, I'm going to say 2-0 to Sunderland.
You remember quite I hope so. I really hope so.
I'm afraid I'm not very good.
Right, okay. Right, well, for me, of course, against Bristol Rovers, I did say 5-0, which was absolutely ridiculous. But I'm going to go for a solid 3-0 win to the lads. No problem. No problem. Points in the bag, up by Easter, and all that. That's it for me. I'm confident, as I always am. Casual observer, Sean's tips are as bad as Thane's sound system.
Who's that meant to be a bigger insult towards?
Right, so Sean, apparently you've had some questions come in on the social. Oh, by the way, before I forget, our Twitter went down last night. Apparently, it said our account was suspended, and there was an inquest between us, seeing who'd been a naughty boy. And it turned out it was all on Twitter's end. We was shut down by mistake. So don't think we've been up to anything we shouldn't have been, and
It
we're
was
all
prob-
back again.
Right.
It was probably Terry because he's filthy minded. So if anyone, it's
I don't even know how to work your Twitter.
Right. So Sean, you've had some questions come in on the socials.
Yeah, there's a few just underneath here. This one's off Matthew Lead. He basically just says, do you think we need to sign any more players before the window shuts on October the 5th? Michael?
Is this, well, hang on, is this, do we think we will, or is it,
do you think we need to make any more signings
All
like
right.
strengthen the team? Do you know what I mean, Michael?
I think we could. Oh, I think right. Luke Garbutt will be. Oh wait, we can't get him. Right, Dimitri Mitchell. No, we can't get him. Either. All right then. I think we need a left back. The two main people we wanted have already got to Blackpool. Creative midfielder. That's it. I think if you get them two, I think we're sorted. But we won't get both of them. We'll probably get a left back, and that's it.
Thean, do you think we need to strengthen before the window shuts?
Yeah, still need a left back.
Left back. Anybody else?
Yep.
Just left back and nobody else.
Well, go on, Thin.
Well, mainly a left back, but also maybe another, like Michael said, another creative midfielder if possible, but mainly a left back.
Right.
And a Dalek should sign one of them as well.
And a Dalek, yeah.
Can I have a go?
Of course you can.
Well, if Feeney's out for 4 months or something,
Yeah.
then maybe we need a replacement there. We've always needed a left back for God knows how long. But for me, we've got a team that's the players we have should be good enough. What we've got anyway for this league, it's as simple as that. I think all it needs is if the manager can get them to gel and play together, then I think we'll absolutely walk the league. I really do. The players we have are good enough as far as I'm concerned. So that's my 2 pence.
Who keeps playing with a bloody pen?
Sorry, that's me. Sorry. Is that what you mean? Oh, sorry.
All right, my turn.
Dino, do we need any more signings?
Left back, obviously, that's clear as day. I still think we need another striker. I think we need a pacey striker. We've got too many of the same strikers. I mean, slow, hold the ball up. You've got Greg who's a goal scorer, but he doesn't really offer much else. I think we need a pacey striker and a creative centre midfielder. We've been crying out for that for the last 2 years. We need a creative centre midfielder. We've got Scowen there, but we don't use him. So if he's not going to use him, get someone else in then. As simple as that. And if Max Power is going to be out, Leadbitter's going to probably get an injury during the season with his age. So I think we need and probably a centre back with obviously Morgan Feeney being out because Brandon Taylor is just going to be covering and he might not cut it. So probably another centre back as well.
My mistakes.
Sorry, quickly before we jump in there, can I quickly on the live chat give a shout out to these people who've done predictions. Andrew Robbins says 2-1 Sunderland. CF YouTube RS says 2-2 to Sunderland. Well done. David Algar says 3-0 Sunderland. Callum Knight says 2-0 Sunderland. Liam W 1-1. Celeb Bush 1-0 Sunderland. Right, sorry, Sean. Go on, back over to you.
Joanne Punchton says 2-1 to Sunderland as well. I think that was a prediction. Right. So, my mistake. Do we need to sign any more players before the window shuts?
Is it only me who thinks that Dan Neil could be the creative midfielder?
No, I agree. I think
we're missing a trick here or something.
I think he should. I think he should be given a chance. I mean, the fact that there's Premier League teams sniffing around him has got to say that he must be more than worth a chance in this team. I totally agree. From what I've seen, I didn't know the guy until pre-season. I'd never heard of him, knew nothing about him, but then watched pre-season and was well impressed. That was my 2 pence again.
I was going to, for Terry, actually, I agree. I think Dan Neil, if he shows what he did against Harrogate, he could be the answer. But do you honestly still see Phil Parkinson using him regularly?
I want to see him play in every single cup match and in a centre position, more like a creative midfielder. Give him a chance in the cup matches. Let's see what he can do. He had him too high up the field against Villa, and he was just like in no man's land half the time.
Yeah, but do you see him using him in the league, though? That's ultimately where the main business is going to be.
No, Phil Parkinson's stuck in his ways. He has his favourites. He'll never, ever play Dan Neil at all, ever, in the league, unless we have a load of injuries. Simple as.
That's the thing. It's like with Parkinson, I mean, there's Dan Neil, there's Brandon Taylor, obviously Morgan Feeney's out now. We've got some potentially good young players, like, but he just doesn't seem to even giving them a sniff. Not even on the bench. There's not even any of them what's coming on the bench, which is a bit worrying, like, isn't it? I mean, I see we're crying now for a midfielder who, Dan Neil, when we're saying him, he looked like he can carry the ball, he can play on, he can make that killer pass. You know what I mean? It's what we lack at times. I don't understand. He's looking at a chance.
Well, on the live chat, of course, as it happens all the time, people are screaming out, Marcus Maddison, why haven't we signed him? I mean, I know we've still got to the window closing, but I think if we was going to sign him, we'd have signed him by now. He's given out all the signals that, you know, he's available. Or do you think there is a chance of one of those panics as the window's closing, that we did actually go out and buy him? So, Michael?
Well, maybe. I mean, well, he'll ask you a question then. If with regard to Marcus Maddison, do you think that because Maddison looks like he's priced himself out of a move, do you not think, though, that the longer it goes on and the closer it gets to the deadline, that he'll be like, oh, no, right, I need to drop your wage demands quite a bit here to find a club? That's where Sunderland could easily go in for him. But Phil Parkinson doesn't seem like he's interested to me. So, you know, like, so, I mean, I'm safe to say I think we take him, but I mean, do you see that happening? Could you see him dropping his wage demands later in the window?
I don't think there's been any interest at all. He hasn't even. I don't think Parkinson actually wants him. I think with the McGeady situation, he's getting rid of a sort of potentially, like, it's, you know, if he's getting rid of McGeady, who could have been causing problems, and he brings in Maddison, maybe he thinks that would rock the boat again. I'm not sure, but we haven't even been any strong links, to be fair. I don't think he's coming, like, Michael.
I don't think he is either.
I'd love to see him come.
Bad mistake.
Okay, the boss is in charge, right? I had this conversation during the week with someone on Twitter. Phil Parkinson is a yes man to Stuart Donald. Max Power is a yes man to Phil Parkinson. That's the way the chain works. We're all yes men in life.
Yes, boss.
Sean works in Nissan. He goes to work. He works for the bosses in Nissan. Sean's a yes man. When I go to work, I do as I'm told. I'm a yes man. We all get our orders down the pecking line. Stuart Donald is the person in charge. He won't want Marcus Maddison for too much cash. Simple as. He won't want to spend any money. He can't afford to spend any money. Simple as. So Phil Parkinson, they're being told, don't even mention it. You can't even mention it. You won't even go near him because we're not going to get him. That's the reason why Phil.
Right. So basically, then you're a good player. We're not interested.
Exactly. Plus, if Stuart Donald can't afford it and doesn't want somebody at the club, the manager doesn't matter because the manager is doing as he's told. Simple as.
Right. Well, Paul McIntosh, where's he gone? He's gone and left us. Paul McIntosh agrees with the mad mistake, but he won't. Did he get that, Terry? Paul McIntosh. He agrees with you on Dan Neil. Nigel agrees with you. The Bristolian Mackham says Embleton is close to returning. Any news on that? Sean, anything else on the socials? Have you asked everybody?
Yeah, I've got. Well, there's more questions too, Six. I think there was a few actually, but I think we've covered the left back one. Now, obviously, now that Morgan Feeney's out for 4 months, who will get to replace him? Like, which players, anybody out there you think we should specifically go for, or do you think we've got enough? You know, we've got RB and MLG. He can come in. We're not too bad in the centre back situation. Like, but I mean, it's a bit of a setback because he looked good at him as well. But do you think we might need to bring in another defender, Michael?
Depends whether we can afford to with the salary cap. That's one of the reasons I don't think we'll go for Maddison. But you know, you've got what have you got? Taylor and you've got Hamiley as well.
Yeah.
to look in for the first team. Personally, I don't. Unless we get another injury, I don't think we desperately need another centre half. Knowing Sunderland, though, we probably will get another injury, but still, probably not. I mean, like I said, this has got to be viewed as an opportunity for Brandon Taylor to break through into the first team mould, because if he's not going to make it this season, not going to make it here. So we may end up going for one, but I don't think we need one unless we get another injury.
Philly, do you think we need to replace Morgan Feeney?
No, not really. I just think, well, it's not a case of whether we need to or not. I just don't think it'll happen anyway. Quickly on the chat though, Tyler Graham says Madison's got an attitude problem. I don't think it's the attitude problem what's coming into play here anyway. Sorry, Sean, carry on.
And that question was off Eddie Bamba. Was Dano, do you think we need to bring another centre back to replace Morgan Feeney?
To be honest, Morgan Feeney wasn't even on the bench, so I don't think he's got any intentions of replacing him, because Morgan Feeney wasn't on the bench. That Jamali was, but Morgan Feeney wasn't. I think Morgan Feeney's going to be mostly used in under-23 football and trying to develop, even though he's been there and done it at under-23 football with England and everything else. So I just think we'll use Jamali and Taylor. I don't think Parkinson's looking to bring in another centre-back, to be honest. I don't think he's even looking to bring in any more players. I think he's happy with his squad.
Right, sure. Thean, do you think we're I've asked you, I haven't asked you ever.
No. Well, also we've got Conor McLaughlin who can play in the back three, so I think we're up here.
Are you a fan of Conor McLaughlin, Thean?
I actually am. I think he had a pretty good pre-season, to be honest.
Yep. There's a few on here are not wouldn't agree with you there. Yes, Michael Bowers. Can I quickly jump on the live chat again, because our friend of the show, Casey Cameron and Jude, says, do we think, round of applause for Casey, there you go. Do we think Elliot Embleton will get in the squad lineup for Saturday, or even a place on the bench? Do you think there's a possibility of that?
I think too soon.
Yeah, I don't know.
What was that, Michael?
As it depends how far away from coming back from injury he is. Isn't he out long term again, or somewhat?
I think he's just come back into training. I think.
But that's the problem. Apparently, he did really well at Grimsby, but he's never fit. That's the big problem. Well, Saturday will probably be too soon to answer Castier's question.
I don't think he'll be back for Saturday. Like, no, it'll be a few weeks yet before he comes even back into the fold.
I doubt it.
I don't think he'll play this year, because Elliot Embleton's one of them players who just gets injured in training all the time. He's, I mean, how many games has he actually played for in the last 2 years? About 2-3 games. It's unfortunate that he's a bit like Duncan Watmore. He gets injured, and it's really unfortunate, because he has got talent, he's got quality, but his body's just not agreeing with him. I don't know if it's the training or it's just his body not holding up, but I hope he does make it back sooner rather than later, but I don't see him even playing this year, to be honest.
Right, just very quickly on the chat again, Casual Observer is saying, we want Marcus Madison, but we'll end up with Marcus Stewart.
I like Marcus Stewart. Marcus Stewart's a good player.
Marcus Stewart's probably older than me now.
He scored more goals than Danny Graham.
Andrew Robbins said, Sean's drinking rich energy drink from William Story. Are you really?
Rich energy?
It would have been fun. We'll have to get
you, lad.
We'll have to get you a can.
Lifetime supply of William.
Right. Well, we're almost up. Do you want to? Have we got one more question we can chuck in there, Sean, before we wrap it up?
Yeah. This is off Liam SEFC. He just basically says, "Do you think Stuart Donald has no choice but to sell the club? Has no choice. I mean, he means like financially, can he actually keep us afloat for the next 12 months?"
But he must be able to, or he would have sold. If he knew he was going to lose some money, he would have sold. I think he's probably got enough to get through, hoping that we'll get the championship and then he can sell it. But like you say, it just depends on how the season's going to go. Because if we don't go up, I think he's going to lose a lot of money if we don't go up this season.
Well, I don't. I mean, you're saying about, he might have to sell because he can't afford to do it. That's not necessarily the issue, because you need a buyer. So, you know, unless you've got a
William
a
Story.
buyer,
William Story.
well, you ask Sean.
Yeah,
Sean, Williams.
I was talking to William today, and obviously when I first got the phone call about Stuart Donald, obviously I needed to ask him, see what the situation was, and then he reckons he's reluctant to sell. One of his messages, that's what he says, he's reluctant to sell.
Well, that's what we've when we had our source from a few weeks ago when we put the announcement out. That's the same sort of thing what was being said there, like reluctant to sell. Quickly, Michael.
Yeah, well, put it this way: if Stuart Donald is prepared to try and gamble the future of Sunderland for the sake of getting a few more bob, then I think we need to unleash Sean Middleton on him, WWE style. That's all I'm going to say.
Madman State, was you trying to get in there?
Yeah, I've just put a little message on the live chat. Can you make me a moderator, please, will you?
So have I not? I thought you was.
Am I? No, I'm not a moderator. I don't think. No.
I should do that. Hang on.
All right.
What do you mean?
Someone's been a bit naughty.
There you
that's
go.
all.
There you go. You're a moderator. Sure, flipping channel. I thought you would have just done it yourself.
I'm not logged in though.
You was
I'm not logged into the live stream.
right. Anyway, you're a moderator now. There you go. I quickly also want to give a shout out to everybody who voted on. We put a poll up on Twitter this week because we wasn't sure if we was going to do the one show a week or two shows a week, and it seems people are interested in us doing 2 a week. So that's what we're going to do for the time being. So we will be live every Thursday, and on a Sunday we'll react to the game on the Saturday when we'll do a Sunday bunch live. That really does wrap it up for tonight. Sean, go on.
Cass, a big shout out to Steve Cass, and I forgot that Steve Cass, who's obviously we're going to be playing football next year. Well, fingers crossed.
Against us.
Felix and Carl Stewart's team. So big shout out to Steve Cass. Get well soon, because he's hurt his leg in there, and the five-side football as well. Get well soon, yes.
All right. Hang on, Michael, before you do. Who's this player that you're signing for your team? What you're not going to tell us about?
No, I can't tell you that.
Right, Michael.
Legend. He's a legend.
All right. Oh,
One last thing I wanted to about, obviously, like we said earlier, we're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers at the end of the year. You get to watch us twice a week for free. So, you know, come on.
there you go.
Yeah, come on.
Come on. Hit the subscribe, hit the like button. We'd really appreciate it to a lot of us.
Right.
Couldn't have done it without you lot.
Right. Listen. Thanks very much. Thane, thanks for joining us. We do apologise. We've not sort of used you as much as we'd like to. The sound quality was really bad. But what we'll do is we'll try and put that right, and we will get you back on again another time as a guest. So thanks to Thane for coming on. Cheers. Round of applause, Thane. Thank you very much.
Subscribe to Thane's channel.
Yes.
Subscribe to his channel, underrated.
Yeah, so Thane SCFC Fan TV, SCFC. I'm going to try. I'm trying to get subscribers to you and us at the same time. Subscribe to Thane's channel. Do that, please. Please subscribe to our channel. It's free to do so. Just help us out. See if we can get to the 5,000 for Christmas. From myself, Wee Philly, from Dino, from Sean Middleton, from Michael Bowers, from the Mad Mistake, and our special guest, Thane SFC. Big thank you for watching, and we will see you all back here for another live show on Sunday night, 6 o'clock Sunday night, and we'll be discussing how we battered Peterborough 3-0, and that's what we'll do. So we'll see you then. Okie doke. Bye bye.